Welcome back. I want to just say a very, very quick thank you behind the camera here to Susanna. Thank you for getting this film in for us for Volume 10. We've been wanting to get The Fisherman in here for the Day of the Dead, for the month of the Day of the Dead. This film doesn't exactly work well if you do it in February, and we've had our eye on this for a long time. And the Day of the Dead in Mexico is actually October 30th. There is a kind of a month-long celebration. But anyway, so Farooq, what did you think of this?
It was, first of all, I liked it. It was a silent movie. There was hardly any dialogue. And then I appreciate more because then without saying you have to express so many things. And at the end, I had so many thinking because this thing that the thing he carries on and then does the fishing, get things, each of those things out, goes to home, set up, get ready. Seems like he's stuck in the past. But sometimes we go back, especially when we are having a hard time and at the present, we go back at that happy time of our life that gives us that joy. And when we get connected to that peace and joy that we had experienced in the past, that help us heal in that current present situation. So that was one thing that came in. Another thing that came in is, like, sometimes people can say, oh, he's stuck in the past. But that was one of the thinking that came up. So it had a lot of open-ended thinking. People will have, I personally think people will have their own thinking. It was not just one specific thing because it was a silent movie as well. So I feel that everybody would have their own perspective of this movie. But I feel, I also came up with 2-3 that I just shared, that we go back. I do that time to time when I'm meditating or maybe sometimes I get worried. I go back in that happy time that, oh, that moment that I spent with my brother or with my family was so precious. Or when I'm meditating, I think about that. And when you feel it, you can feel that happiness within your heart too.
You know, and I felt, because this film was made in Mexico, because it is very much about the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead, that holiday in Mexico, is about a very particular time of the year when people celebrate those who are no longer with us. Right. And they consciously go back and do that. And I felt that the metaphor of being able to use those photographs to go fish his memories out of the ocean was such a beautiful thing. And I had a sense of joy and happiness from him and a sense of hope. That's why, and I think you're right, I think people will interpret this film in your own way, which is great because that's really wonderful filmmaking if everybody can have their own interpretation. To me, he had so many other jars left that, you know, he had his life, he was living his life, but every once in a while he would go back and she would be there for him and he would remember that part of his life and it would be beautiful. It would be, you know, remembered with love and it would be remembered with happiness, not that it would be sad. And I personally didn't find this movie sad. Now, I know that some of you out there will definitely do that. And by the way, this is a great moment for me to say this because one of the first places that Farooq and I started was communicating was on our Facebook page. Correct. And Farooq posts there actually quite a lot. And please go to the Facebook page. This month, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about a lot of these films. And we really do want to hear from you as to what you think, what you feel. Are you enjoying this? Are you not enjoying this? What films are you liking? What films are you not liking? So please do that. And I think this will be one of those films that our community does that with.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So with that, we will see you after the feature.